is enough said.
What's up, Heat Nation? Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Guys, please show some support. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Doing a little bit of a different setup today, you guys. Upgrading, got me a nice new little laptop, so want to sit down, be a little bit more comfortable, have little things right in front of me, so it's going to be a lot easier to do these episodes now. You guys got some other things in store for y'all, so I'm really excited about this offseason. Now together, let's go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Before we get started on the episode, you guys, just a reminder, the Miami Heat do have a game tonight against the New Orleans Pelicans. I mean, the Heat need to still try to win games. You know, technically, if the Bulls lose their next two games and the Heat win these next two games, then technically they could get the 9th seed. However, Chicago's last two games are against the Pelicans and the Sixers, so barring a huge upset, I don't see them losing both those games. So we know that the Heat are going to be the 10th seed. So right now, it's just to wait and see who are we going to play, Chicago or Atlanta, because Chicago's only a game down from Atlanta. And if you want me to be honest, you guys, I'd honestly prefer Atlanta. Chicago has Miami's number. Chicago's 3-0 against Miami this season, but the Hawks are 2-1 against the Heat. I mean, it's really been a bad season, you guys. This is the worst season the Miami Heat have had since the 2019 season. And it's funny because you see that a Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero team didn't do as good as a Hassan Whiteside, Goran Dragic led team. So that kind of blows. I look at this team, you guys, not as a team that's a bad team. I look at this team that needs to retool, fix itself, and get better. And why do I say that? Because the Miami Heat have lost a lot of games this season, you guys, after the Jimmy Butler trade, even before the Jimmy Butler trade, when they were like having double-digit leads, and then they lose the games in the second half. That shows me that you need a real, true number one. You need a true leader. Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Andrew Wiggins, as good as they are, and there's certain games where these guys can have amazing games. You see Tyler constantly having 30-point games, but not constantly having 40-point games. Not like every other NBA player can, not like every NBA player can do it, but still, you know. Then you see Bam Adebayo. He can break out a 30-point game here and there, not consistently. Same thing with Andrew Wiggins. You need a guy like Donovan Mitchell, John Morant, Anthony Edwards, Kevin Durant, you know, Trae Young even. You need that guy who you can go to at the fourth quarter and say, win us this game. Not going to them and hoping they can do it. Going to them knowing they can do it. When the Heat and the Grizzlies were tied, who did the Grizzlies give the ball to? John Morant. He delivered. Tyler's been able to deliver. Let's not forget the game against Orlando. Let's not forget a lot of games where Tyler has hit big shots. But we do need somebody else. We need an upgrade. And for people saying that Kevin Durant is too old, I think Kevin Durant can be a great option on this team. Simply because of what he does out there in the basketball floor on the offensive end, but also because of his contract. Yeah, he's 37 years old, but he has one more year left in his deal. A 1-year rental for Kevin Durant on this team can work, especially if you can do it for a deal like Andrew Wiggins, Jaime Jaquez, and a future first-round draft pick. I would be willing to do that. But the question I want to ask you guys is, the Heat are a playing team. We need to win 2 games in order to make the playoffs. These are 2 wins that we have to win against teams that we don't have winning records against. The Bulls, the Hawks, and the Magic. You need to win 2 of those games to get to the playoffs because you're a 10th seed. You have 1 shot to make it. With the way that the Heat have been playing, especially if they end up playing Chicago in that play-in team at Chicago, that's going to be a tough game to win. But if the Heat lose, they will keep their 2025 draft pick, which will be in the lottery. So the Heat will have a shot at getting a player like Cooper Flagg. Not realistically, but, you know, they'll have an odds. But then they'll also have Golden State's first-round draft pick, giving the Miami Heat 2 first-round draft picks going into the draft. That can be huge for trades, you guys. And you have a lot of tradable assets, especially if the Miami Heat are going to be under the luxury cap moving forward. You can package players like Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson, Andrew Wiggins. All of these players are going to be in the final year of their contracts. Andrew Wiggins has 2 more years, but it is a player option. But then you also have tradable assets like Kyle Anderson, who's been stepping up. Jaime Jaquez, even though he's had a sophomore struggles, he's still young, he's still polished, and he can still develop. You also have Nikola Jovic. I don't want to trade Kel'el Ware. I think that the pivotal pieces you keep on this team, I mentioned it yesterday, but I'll say it again. Kel'el Ware, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, and re-signing Davion Mitchell. Those are the 4 players that you must bring back. I'm cool with keeping Kyle Anderson. I'm cool with keeping Jaime and Nikola Jovic, but we know we need to make a move this offseason. I don't want to wait till 2026. I want to do it now. I want to go this offseason. And in order to do that, you're going to need to take some of these draft picks, some of these young assets, and some of these contracts you have that are expiring, package them together, and go after that guy. So the question, Heat fans, I want to ask you guys is, do you guys think that the Miami Heat can actually make the playoffs? Or do you think it's better that we not make the playoffs and keep our draft pick? But remember, we lose the protection on those 2 future first-round draft picks. It's difficult, you guys. But when I keep circling back at it, when we talk about I did an episode yesterday, you guys, on on certain players that the Miami Heat can trade for. You have Anthony Edwards, who to me is the favorite. If Anthony Edwards becomes available, you guys, that's who I want. I want Anthony Edwards. He's number 1 on the list. We need to see what Minnesota does in the playoffs. But if Anthony Edwards becomes available, putting Anthony Edwards with Kel'el Ware, Bam Adebayo, Davion Mitchell, because I know Tyler Hero would have to be a part of that deal. But if you put Anthony Edwards with those 3 players, if you're able to build around that with Spo, it'll work. I love Tyler Hero, but Anthony Edwards is Ant-Man. But there's certain players that I wouldn't be willing to trade Tyler Hero for that I mentioned yesterday. Trae Young, no. Ja Morant, no. It's crazy, but I prefer to keep Hero. He's our guy. Ja brings too much trouble. And I'm not willing to trade Tyler Hero for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is 37 years old in the final year of his contract. If you're trading for Kevin Durant, it's because you're trying to get it at a discount. So that's what I'd be willing to do. Phoenix is screwed. Phoenix is screwed with the whole Bradley Beal thing. This team's not working. They can't even make it into the play-in. So they're trading Kevin Durant. So it's going to be a fire sale. If the Heat can include Andrew Wiggins, Jaime Jaquez, like I mentioned earlier, and a future draft pick, I'd be cool with that. Renting Kevin Durant for 1 year and seeing what he can do on this team. Think of this starting lineup, you guys. Davion Mitchell, Tyler Hero, Kevin Durant, Bam Adebayo, and Kel'el Ware. That's a contender in the East. That is a contender in the East. And if you're able to move Terry Rozier and Duncan Robinson's contract and be able to get some more flexibility off the bench, keep Kyle Anderson, keep Nikola Jovic, keep Haywood Highsmith, now you're having a contending team in the East. And Kevin Durant this year, you guys, I understand people are saying he's 37 years old. He's too old. Well, he's averaging this year right now, he's 36 right now. He's averaging 27 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, and a steal. 36.5 minutes a game, 43% from the three-point line, 52% from the field, 83% from the free throw line. I want that guy on this roster. And also, the reason why is because Ant-Man, Ja Morant, Nikola Jokic, Nikola Jokic, of course you want that, but chances are that's not going to happen. And Trae Young, between those 4 guys, Kevin Durant is the only one that has an expiring contract, I believe. What's Trae Young's contract like? I'll tell you guys right now. Trae Young's salary. I like this because I can do this stuff in front of you guys, so I don't have to go back and forth. I like this. Yeah, Trae Young has 3 more years left in his contract. Kevin Durant is the one that makes sense because he can be a 1-year rental. If it goes good, you can extend him for another year. I'm cool with that. I understand you guys. Everyone's going to take the old factor. Old. Too old. He's not that old. Okay? He really isn't. And remember, you guys, Kevin Durant's game is not like Jimmy Butler. He's not a guy that goes to the paint every time and needs to score. He's a shooter. He's one of the best elite shooters in the NBA. Especially if he's playing next to Bam Adebayo and Kel'el Ware, who defensively are beasts. It's going to work. And look at that front court. Kevin Durant, Bam Adebayo, and Kel'el Ware, those 2 guys that are about 7 feet tall. Bam is 6'9". That's going to be like the 1986 Boston Celtics when they had Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish. That's insane. So Heat Nation, I want to hear from you. Do you think that Kevin Durant can actually be a potentially good option simply because of the fact that he has an expiring contract and you may not have to give up a lot of players to get him? Remember, you guys, if you're going to trade for Ant-Man, John Morant, Nikola Jovic, you're going to have to give up the farm. You're going to have to give up Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Pelle Larsson, Nikola Jovic, draft picks, contracts that are expiring. You may not have to give up all that for Kevin Durant. It may just cost Wiggs, Jaime Jaquez, or Nikola Jovic, and a future first-round pick. Maybe you might have to sweeten the pot with Pelle Larsson. Maybe, maybe not. But Phoenix, you guys, they're going to be desperate this offseason. And Kevin Durant requested Miami a while ago. We've seen that Kevin Durant has had some teams that he's interested in. He didn't want to go to the Warriors. He said that it was because he didn't want to move midseason. BS. Golden State wasn't on his wish list. There were 5 teams. It was the Heat, it was the Rockets, it was the Spurs, and there were 2 other teams I can't remember. I believe one was OKC, but the Miami Heat was in that mix. So let me know what you think, Heat Nation. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We're pushing to 6,000 subscribers. Let me know what you think about this setup, you guys. Hope you guys like it. I think the mic quality is a lot better. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. Until next time, your boy Ernest out, and that is enough said.